up? It is Breyonna, and today we're going to be sitting down and revisiting products in my makeup collection and doing like a full face glam. Because I don't know about you guys, but sometimes I forget about the products I already have in my collection, and they're things I really enjoy and really love, and honestly a lot of the times they are holy grails for me. But with all the new launches all the time, I sometimes forget about them and forget to use them, so I thought we would give them a little bit of love today. Now, I'm just saying, before we jump into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page or my TikTok, it is at Breyonna Fave as well. So for eye primer today, I'm just going to go in with this Anastasia one. I have this like little sample size and I'm trying to use it up. But I'm going to put a little bit on the back of my hand. Ooh, I am like almost out. I didn't realize I'm like really like pushing down on this. But I'm just going to tap it all over my lid and then bring it up towards my brow. I'm literally just putting it everywhere that we're going to be applying shadow today. So the palette that we are going to be using today is the Naked Wild West palette from Urban Decay, because a lot of you guys in my original review, and if you'd like to check that out, I'll have it linked in the description box down below for you, but you guys are like, I need to see more looks using this palette before I buy it because she is expensive. Like, this is a $49 palette, like it is definitely up there. I'm trying to figure out which shade I want to go in with first, but I kind of want to go in with this kind of like orangey, kind of like neutral, and this one is called Spur. And I'm just going to be taking it in my crease using this Anastasia A26. Ooh, that is a really pigmented shade. Oh my, like that's really intense right away. That's one thing I really enjoyed about this palette though with my original review, is that all the shades were very pigmented. So I'm just going to go in with a second layer just to build it up a little bit. Again, I am bringing it up towards my brow, and you know what, I'm actually going to wing this out too, on this outer edge. Kind of have an idea in my head as to what I want to do, and I think it's going to be really cool with this palette. So now I'm just going to go in with this Rush shade right here. This one is called Ghost Town. It looks really pretty in the pan, but I'm just going to take it on this fluffy brush, again from Anastasia. This is an A10. I have a feeling like this shade's going to be really intense. Oh yeah. I mean, seriously, like look at that. I barely applied anything, and like, oh my gosh. But I'm just going to be taking this brush the long way. It's one of those like pinch blending brushes, and popping it in my crease and then blending it upwards towards my brow. But I'm just going to go in with a second layer just to build it up a little bit. Oh yeah. This shade is honestly stunning. Again, it just seems like this palette is just really pigmented. Like when I think of like an Urban Decay Naked palette, I think of something that's going to give me like a sheer wash of color almost. You know, something that has kind of like an everyday natural kind of vibe. But this palette's just packed with pigment. So I do want like a little bit more definition. So I'm just going to go in with this matte brown right here. And this one is called Whiskey. And I'm just going to take it on this teeny tiny little Morphe blending brush. And pop it lightly in that crease. Again, I just want like a touch more definition right here. So when we cut that crease, it's going to look like extra sharp. Normally I'm not a warm tone neutral kind of person, but there's just something so effortless and pretty about the ones in this palette. Maybe it's because they lean a little bit more on like the chocolatey side, but they're really, really pretty. Again, I am kind of like winging it out on this outer edge. And if you've never done a wing style before, I like to take my brush and go right underneath my brow bone where it naturally curves up. It'll literally create the shape for you. I just cannot get over how easy it is to blend out this palette. Like you literally apply it and then do a couple of circles and it's like instantly blended. Like it literally requires like no effort. But off camera though, I am going to cut my crease. I am going to do like one of those like winged out ones, and I'm going to go the full way. And then afterwards, I'll be right back to finish up the lid. So after cutting the crease, I took a sticky note and chopped off the like sticky part of it, cut that in half, and then put it under each eye. You know, just to kind of get that like harsh line kind of vibe. But I'm going to now dip back into the palette, and we're going to go in with this blue shade right here. This one is called Tex. And I'm just going to use this pencil brush right here from Anastasia. It's an A14. I'm going to pack it really close to my lash line first. Kind of in this outer edge. I kind of want to do like a smoky liner with it. So I want the color to be like really dark and rich near the lash line. And then we'll feather it up. And when I'm doing this, I'm really like pressing it into. This blue shade though is seriously so pretty. I will say though, it is a little bit deceiving because it does look a lot darker when applied than it does in the pan. And then after you kind of have the intensity where you want it, I'm just taking whatever's left on my brush and then smoking it out. I accidentally blended it up too high on this outer edge, so I guess we're gonna have to pull it up a little bit further and do a different eye look than I was, planning on doing, but you know what, we're just gonna roll with it. So I'm just gonna bring it up and leave 1/8 of an inch gap between that cut crease and the blue. And I'm bringing this blue about halfway in. It's always so satisfying pulling off the tab at the end because, I mean, like, look at how sharp it looks. So now let's work on the rest of the lid. So I'm gonna go in with this kind of like darker brown shimmer shade, and this one is called Rustler. And then taking it on a dampened shader brush, I'm just going to pop this in the center of my lid. And I am overlapping it with that dark blue. And then I'm just gonna bring it up, and again, I am leaving 1/8 of an inch gap. But, ooh, she is shimmery. I'm trying to be a little bit careful when I do this because I don't want to, like, bring it up too far. But you see what I mean, though? Like, it is, like, really metallic and, like, super sparkly. I'm just going to take whatever is left on that brush that we applied the blue with and, like, feather out the edges. Kind of, like, putting it down and, like, feathering it in. So for the rest of the lid, I'm just going to go in with this gold shimmer shade, and this one is called Hold'em, and it looks really chunky and sparkly in the pan, so I'm assuming it's going to have like that really like extra look to it. So I'm just going to be taking it on this dampened little brush. It's like a little shader. And I'm just going to be popping it in the inner third. Again, I am leaving that 1/8 inch gap, and then I'm slightly bringing it up into Rustler. But ooh, that is really fun. It's kind of like a yellow gold. And again, it does have like that really like extra look to it. It's like super, super sparkly in person. I'm just gonna go in with a second layer just to see if we can get it like even more intense. Like, don't get me wrong, like the first layer is really cute, but the second layer, ooh, it just like, it brought it to like a whole other level. I love this. So for liquid liner today, I'm just gonna go in with this brow pen from Anastasia in medium brown. Personally, I do not like this as a brow pen. Like, it's just like way too harsh and too pigmented. However, as a liquid liner, it's a bomb. It's like really pigmented. It literally lasts all day. And I love the brush tip of it. And I'm not doing a wing liner today. I'm just doing a little thin line on the top. You could do a wing if you want, but I feel like it would just kind of take away from the blue, and I really want the blue to stand out and pop. But at the same time, I do want to conceal that lash band. So for mascara today, we're going to be using this one from Pacifica. I just absolutely love the packaging though. Like, it's so pretty. It's like a dark purple with like holographic detailing. And this is the Highest Lash Chronic Volume Mascara. I actually really like this mascara because it gives you volume, but it doesn't look clumpy. And it really coats the lash as well too. So for lashes, I'm just going to go in with these ones from Kiss. They are the Lash Couture Matte Black Faux Mink Collection, and they're in the style Matte Satin. I am always so bad with doing lashes on camera because I always forget to not pull them out of the box before I show you guys what they look like. But for glue today, I'm just going to use this one from Duo. It's, again, like my favorite. It is so good. It is the Kwikset Strip Lash Adhesive. And again, why I like it is because you don't have to wait for it. And I'm just going to take my lash, take my glue, and then do a little thin layer on it. The whole band. And then I kind of like to double up on the corners, because I have really watery eyes, and I find that if I put like a little glob on each corner, they don't lift. Let me know in the comments down below like what your favorite lashes are, because I'm on the hunt for trying out new lashes, but I don't know where to start. I know a lot of people really like Amazon lashes, but like some of them, they just look a little bit too long for me. I think they're called like 25mm. I know a lot of people really enjoy those. So if you have any lash recommendations that are a little bit more on the dramatic side, let me know. And again, I'm just going to pop my lash in the center, attach the inner corner, attach the out, and then slightly pull it. Just so that inner corner doesn't like poke me as much. And then I like to take my finger before it dries down and kind of like lift up this edge. Okay, don't judge me for the cat ears. I really like this headband. I've had it since I was in high school. I just think it's really cute. And also, it does serve a purpose because it holds my hair back so I don't get makeup in it. Because I don't know about you guys, but I get foundation in my hair a lot and it's really hard to get out. So this, you know, kind of prevents that. So for primer today, I'm just going to go in with this one from e.l.f. It is the Jelly Pop Dew Primer. I love this one and it also smells amazing. I'm going to do about a pump and a half or so. Rub it between my fingers. And then I like to start in the center of my face and then like work my way out. Especially with these kind of like gel primers. So for foundation today, I'm just going to go in with this one from Pure. I haven't used it in a hot minute, but I really like it. And this is the 4-in-1 Love Your Selfie, and I'm shade LN1. I I love this foundation. I'm almost out, so I need to get a new one from Ulta. I'm just going to apply it all over my face. Really like focusing in the areas where I need some coverage. I really like that you can like dip into it though and you don't have to use the pump. I love the doe foot applicator. I might have applied a little too much, but you know what, we're just gonna roll with it. But I'm just going to blend it out using this Morphe X Lisa Frank sponge. I forgot lately I have been liking a little bit lower of coverage products on my face. I don't know why either, because for the longest time I have always been like a full glam, full coverage kind of gal. And now I like a light to medium, which I don't know how that even happened, but it's so comfortable and long wearing. And I also like how skin-like it looks. But maybe I need to start using this foundation again. Like, dang, like my skin looks good. I don't know why I stopped using it. It's probably because I'm almost out and I just was trying to like ration it for some reason instead of getting a new one. I don't know if you're like that too, but sometimes when I'm almost out of products, I kind of like ration them and then start using other things. And then I forget to restock on it. So for cream contour, I'm just going to use my Fenty Matchstick in the shade Amber, and I'm just going to apply it to this brush from Morphe. This is an E63. And I'm like really like loading up this brush. I need to find more cream contours that I like. I actually recently bought a concealer. You know, because everybody tells you that you can use concealer as long as you get like a couple of shades darker and something cool tone, which I did. And then I used it yesterday and oh my gosh, it made me look like an Oompa Loompa, like dead on. Like, I don't know why, but like in the tube, it was like a nice cool tone and I'm like, ooh, this is gonna be like the perfect color. And then I applied it and it literally was like bright orange. And when I'm doing this, I'm kind of like putting it towards my ear and then kind of like blending it down and then up. I don't know, I really like this technique so far because it makes my contour look a little bit more like blended as well as kind of like, I don't know how to say it, but like natural, but at the same time like contouring your face doesn't always look like super natural. I don't know, it just kind of gives me the definition without looking chunky and nasty. Because I feel like sometimes cream contour can look that way for me because I have that dent in my skull. So it like really accentuates it. But so far, doing it this way, I don't think it looks as noticeable. And I feel like I can really get like up in my hairline too. I really need to try doing my foundation with a brush because I haven't used a brush for foundation in probably like a couple of years now. I'm not one of those people that likes brushes with my cream products. I don't know why I said it weird. But I definitely prefer a sponge. Like after I started using a sponge over my fingers, like I just can't stop. But now I just kind of want to experiment more with it. Especially after doing this technique. And then for concealer, I'm just going to use this one from Milani. I haven't used it in a while. I really like it though. This is the Conceal and Perfect Longwear Concealer, and I'm just going to use shade 100 Pure Ivory. I love concealers that have this like flat applicator to them. It's just so easy to apply them this way. You can really get like all up in there too with it. Okay, I got cat hair on my eye or something. Ooh, it is driving me nuts. Whew. I can like feel it. I can't see it, but I can feel it. And then again, I'm just going to blend it out using that sponge. And I'm also going to kind of like sharpen up our eyeshadow look too. So I'm just going to set my under eyes before they slip and slide everywhere. And I'm just going to go in with this e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. And I wear shade Light. I really like this powder. I don't know why I haven't used it recently. Like it's really nice and it really like blurs everything. So I'm just going to take it underneath my eye and then like feather it downwards. And tap out the rest of the face. I'm also trying to like focus it in the areas where I crease, you know, like around my nose, in my smile lines, and then underneath my eyes. The only thing is I don't really like the packaging that much because it has like one of those like twist sifters and it's kind of irritating. So I'm kind of like half tempted to pop it out. But then I always feel like once I pop out the sifter, then I use too much product. I don't know if you feel like that too. And then to sculpt out the face, I'm just going to go in with this Cokey Powder Contour Palette. Again, one of my favorite products in my collection. As you can see, I've hit pan already on 2 shades, and I'm almost ready to hit pan on this light, kind of like highlighting shade. It's like right at the end, like you can kind of like see the pan. But I'm just going to mix these two right here. And I'm just going to take it on this brush from ColourPop. It's an F30. And then I'm just going to apply it anywhere that we applied that Fenty matchstick. So, you know, like underneath the cheekbones, underneath the jaw a little bit, as well as in the hairline and around my forehead. Just to bring a little bit more definition and more color to my face. This is one of the most underrated contour palettes though. Like, it is so good and it literally like blends itself out. I feel like Cokey is one of those brands though that just doesn't get enough love because their products are all really nice. Everything that I have used so far I've really enjoyed. But you just never really see many people talk about them, and I don't understand why, because they have really nice stuff and it's really great quality. So for blush today, I'm just going to go in with this trio from Morphe. This is the Papa Peach one. And I'm just going to take this center shade and then this lighter one and kind of like mix the two. Because the one in the center is almost like too bright for me, and then the other one is like a little too light. So mixing the two is just like the perfect shade for me. And I'm just going to take this combo on this ColourPop F32. I know Morphe is really known for their eyeshadow palettes, but honestly, like their other products are really nice too. Especially their blushes and their eyelashes. And again, I'm just going to be popping that on my cheek bone and then bringing it up. And I'm also going to hit it on my nose too. Just a little bit. Just to kind of like even things out a little. I went a little too ham with the blush, so I'm just going to take my sponge and kind of like tap out the edges a little bit. Just to kind of tone it down, because I mean, like, it looks really bright. So this is one of my favorite highlighters, and it honestly just does not get enough love, and that is the Anastasia Beverly Hills Loose Highlighter in the shade Vegas. It's kind of like this gold shade that has like this really cool kind of like green look to it too. Like, it's a very subtle green shift. But I'm just going to pop it on my cheekbone using this brush from ColourPop. It's an F33. And I'm not wetting my brush first because I don't want it like super like metallic looking. Because like if you like a blinding highlight, you can get these like super blinding. But if you don't use a dampened brush, they look a little bit softer. And then for lip liner, I'm just going to go in with this one from Rimmel. It is in the shade Tiramisu. And then for lipstick, I'm just going to go in with this NYX Cosmetics Shine Loud Satin Lipstick. And this one's in the shade Cali. Ooh, that like matched that lip liner perfectly. They're like literally the same color. So for the lower lash line, I'm first going to go in with that Ghost Tone shade, that Sienna one. And then run it right underneath, doing back and forth motions. And I'm just using this ES6 brush from Profusion. Then using a different little blending brush, I'm just going to take Spur and then kiss the edges of Ghost Tone. Just so we get a really good fade. So now we're going to be doing my absolute favorite part, which is the inner corner highlight. And we're just going to go back in with that gold that we used earlier. And again, this one is called Hold'em. And I'm just going to be taking it on this dampened little pencil brush from Morphe. It's an M431. And I'm like really packing it down because I want it extra blinding. But, ooh, she's so pretty. I mean, like, look at how blinding that is. And I'm also just going to take it a little bit underneath my inner tear duct area. And oops, I have an eye boogie. This definitely turned out to be a warm tone smoky eye, but honestly, I think it turned out really cool. And I also like that we added that little hint of blue. I think it just really added a lot. Because don't get me wrong, like a warm tone smoky eye by itself, like it's cute and all. But once you start adding like a little bit of a pop of color to it, it makes a world of difference and just makes it a little bit more spicy. And I just gotta admit, like, I am really loving this Naked Wild West palette. Like, I don't know what it is about this one, but I really like the color story and I love the formula of it. And normally, I'm not into neutral palettes. You guys know me, like, I'm more into color than neutrals. Like, I can appreciate a good neutral palette, but I definitely prefer my colors. And there's just something so special about this one, though, that really just draws me in. Maybe it's because it has, like, a mix of warm and cool tones in here and really pretty pops of blue. But I don't know, I'm really obsessed with it. So if you've been on the fence about this palette and you like the color story of it, I cannot recommend it enough. Like, it is such a beautiful palette. But yeah, so in the comments down below, let me know what you think about this look, and also let me know if you'd like to see more videos where I kind of like shop my stash. But as always though, if you haven't already, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below and also give this video a like. And if you'd like to check me out over on my Instagram page or my TikTok, it is at Breyonna as well. And I'll talk to you guys later. Bye!